At the end of the Battle of Gogeta against Broly, a spy robot was observing everything that happened, taking samples even from Broly and Gogeta. After a while, Goku and Vegeta were training on the planet of the destroyer god Beerus. However, in all that time on Earth, there was a scientist who wanted to revive the elite patrol. The scientist had enough cells to be able to create the most powerful warrior, and so it was, they had recreated Cell, but in a much more powerful form. However, Gohan Beast was able to defeat him, but what no one knew was that a part of the laboratory was following a much more powerful experiment. One day when the Z warriors gathered at Bulma's house, the plan would begin. A warrior of imposing appearance appeared, but this being had only one mission: to take with him the Saiyans Goku and Vegeta, since these would be the most powerful androids Goku and Vegeta were eating. However, from one moment to another, a strong blow would take Vegeta flying hundreds of meters, even destroying a forest in its path. "Who the hell are you?" "That's none of your business. But my mission is to take Son Goku and Vegeta to the lab." "If we can't sense your ki, it's because you must be an android." "You're right, but that won't do any good because with all the cells you've collected, I have enough power to knock out even a guardian angel. But my lifespan is only 5 hours, so in that time, I have to make it." "But this is incredible, since you look completely human." "That's right. Having such power, my body was not affected. But now it's time to take you with me." "That won't be so easy for you. You have to be able to defeat us." Goku would increase his power to the maximum, passing to the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, and would launch a strong blow, which would only make him move 2 centimeters. This would leave Son Goku surprised. Meanwhile, with Beerus, this upon feeling only the high ki of Goku would get a little serious. "What is wrong, Son Goku's ki is very high, and I don't feel any other presence near him." Returning to the battle, Goku was receiving a beating. At that moment, Vegeta would arrive altered, observing everything that was happening, and Vegeta would transform into the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, launching himself to the attack. But what that android had said was true, since not even with his maximum powers they could confront him. "Whis, something's happening. The ki of Goku and Vegeta is at its maximum power. This is not training. Let's go immediately." "Right away, Mr. Beerus." Both deities depart at great speed, arriving in a matter of seconds as they were on planet Earth. Upon arrival, they were surprised as they watched Goku and Vegeta receive the beating of their lives. "Goku, Vegeta, who is this guy and why can't I feel his ki?" "Mr. Beerus, he's an android. That's why you can't sense your ki." Beerus, confided that he is a god of destruction, launched himself against that android, but great was his surprise when he directed a great blow and this android stopped him with a single finger. "Everything was planned and I was created with enough power in case a guardian angel gets in my way." "Lord Beerus, I can sense the power of that being, but you don't stand a chance against him." "I must not take you alive, so I must not hold back." The android, with the powerful blow, would leave Beerus out of combat and on the verge of death. At that moment, the android would give a great blow to Goku and Vegeta, leaving them out of combat, but without the risk of losing their lives. The android would get up and begin to charge a great sphere of energy with the capacity to destroy all of Universe 7 completely and reduce it to atoms. No one would be able to stop the dream of the Red Patrol. At the instant of the collision with the Earth, Whis was able to turn back time by 3 minutes. "This time it will be your turn to face me." So, it's true. An angel has enough power to even control time, but that won't be enough to defeat me. Whis, even mastering the Ultra Instinct, was not able to dodge a sneaky hit that would make him create a big crater. Whis, a little sore from that hit, would get up. "The power of that being is overwhelming. I don't think I have enough power to defeat him, but I won't let him take Mr. Goku and Vegeta." Whis began to fight seriously with that android. The clash of their blows made the whole planet Earth tremble, and not only that, they also made the whole universe tremble due to the power that both were using. But while the battle was developing, the android began to have the advantage due to the fact that it had unlimited energy. Whis, being an angel and his energy reserves enormous, he was not a robot, so his power was decreasing little by little. After approximately 24 minutes of fighting, the android would give the second accurate blow, which would make the angel feel immense pain.
Who was its creator? He must be a monster.
I don't have the stamina of a Saiyan or his Zenkais, so the experiment that will be carried out with them will be something magnificent.
No. If you get Son Goku and Vegeta to become creatures like you, they will be abominations.
I would like to continue playing with you, but I don't have enough time. Since in approximately 3 hours my core will explode, but I won't kill you. It'll be your disciples who'll do it. The android would leave unconscious with a whisk of a great blow. He would take Goku and Vegeta and would take them to his laboratory. At the moment of arriving, they began to experiment Zero Gods. Meanwhile, in the battlefield, Beerus would wake up, but this one was in terrible conditions, and he would be surprised to observe Whis out of combat. Beerus would go with his last energy, with Whis achieving that this one would wake up. But at that moment, the Z Warriors would arrive.
Mr. Beerus! Mr. Whis! What happened to you?
Whis would explain everything to the Z Warriors. They were all very surprised to know that the next potential enemies would be the warriors that one day gave their lives to save planet Earth. Meanwhile, in the laboratory was Goku and Vegeta, which some parts of his body had been replaced by robotic parts. Since they would be placed a chip to follow all the orders given to them. Returning to the Z Warriors, they were very nervous to know they did not have enough power.
We must all train, because if a normal being becomes an android with such power, I don't even want to imagine the power of Son Goku and Vegeta, overcoming the angelic barrier with ease, being able to even face the greatest priest.
This is the ultimate test. Let's all train, or better yet, let's destroy the planet. If that's the best, to destroy all the laboratory.
Mr. Beerus, please don't do it. He's my father.
At that moment, Bulma would jump into the conversation.
Gohan, we have to do it. If nothing happens to them, we'll return everything to normal with the Super Dragon Spheres.
Gohan, with sadness, would accept. Whis would create an energy field in all the Z Warriors. At that precise moment, the god of destruction, Beerus, would rise above the planet of the surface and create a gigantic energy sphere which he would plant to destroy everything in its path. Sorry, Goku and Vegeta, but it's for the good of Universe 7. Before the creation comes the destruction. Massive Hawkeye! The computer gave maximum alert. Danger, 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 danger. A great sphere of energy is approaching that can destroy everything in its path. Damn it, I knew I had to kill that damn god. I couldn't do anything, I only have 3 minutes left. The only thing you can do is to accelerate the creation of the Saiyan experiment. So they will be the ones to face that god and that angel. How do I do it? You, being that possesses the cells of the gods, angels, Gogeta, which is the fusion of both Saiyan and the legendary Saiyan, you can accelerate their creation with your core. I understand. I'll give my last drop of energy for my creator's dream. Code 007, Core Override, New Route, Android 1 and 2. All the power of that android core was being directed towards Goku and Vegeta, making all their robotic parts quickly fuse with them. At that moment, when the Hawkeye sphere was about to collide with planet Earth, a roar shook the whole universe. At that precise moment, Vegeta at an incredible speed would get in front of that big sphere, and with a big blow, would make it come back. Beerus, who expected planet Earth to explode, would be a little surprised, just like Whis, who expected the planet to remain in simple stardust. What happened?
Mr. Beerus, look at that place.
Beerus, upon returning to observe said place, would be surprised to observe Goku and Vegeta. However, his ki was not felt. By trying to destroy the planet we were created on, you'll die. The plan to eradicate all the gods begins. Goku at the moment would appear in front of Beerus, hitting him in the chest with a single blow, leaving everyone surprised to see how the god of destruction was defeated with a single blow.
I can't sense his powers, but his levels are much higher than the level of the guy we're up against.
Whis threw himself against Goku while Gohan gave him a hermit seed so that the god would recover. Gohan entered his beast mode, while Piccolo, in his Orange Piccolo transformation, everyone began to attack Son Goku, as the Prince of the Saiyans only observed. However, from one moment to the next, his granddaughter observed her grandfather.
Grandfather, 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 grandfather!
Goku, upon hearing the words of his granddaughter, began to have a short circuit in his entire system. Vegeta, upon realizing this, would try to kill the girl. However, Goku would stand in front of him.
React, Vegeta! I could remember. We're Saiyans, and we were made androids for the Red Patrol's plan.
No, that information is correct. We are androids since the creation of everything, and our mission is to destroy all the gods. If you don't help me with our mission, you will leave me no choice. Our instructions were clear. Fulfill the purpose, no matter who gets in the way.
If you really want to hurt our friends, you have to get past me first.
Goku would pass the Super Saiyan Blue, but his powers had grown too much. What they did not realize was that his tails had also been restored. A great battle would begin between the two Saiyans. However, what Goku did not know was that the God of Destruction, Beerus, was asking for reinforcements to all the other gods. I will let one of them two be defeated, and when he is exhausted, we'll exterminate him. It's for the best of the whole Universe 7. It's not the best for the 12 universes. The battle would continue in its most intense point, and a clear winner could not be observed. From one moment to another, both warriors would give each other a furtive blow that would make them spit blood due to their power. Goku and Vegeta would begin with a great battle that would decide the future of all the universes. The battle was so intense that even some planets would be affected by the collisions of their blows. Goku was able to hit the Prince of the Saiyans with a strong right to his face, making him cross some mountains in his path. But he would not stay with his arms crossed, since Vegeta, at a speed that even Whis was not able to observe, would hit Goku with a strong blow, making him spit blood. Our mission was clear. Destroy all the gods and the angelic beings until the Red Patrol is on top of everything.
I can't let you do that, Vegeta. You're not like that. Remember, you're the Prince of the Saiyans, the great Vegeta!
Vegeta couldn't reason with Son Goku. However, the same trigger occurred with Vegeta as he would listen to his daughter Bulma.
But, Daddy...
Bulma would be surprised since at such a young age he would have already said his first words. Vegeta, when he heard the first words of his daughter, in the same way a short circuit occurred in his system, which made him stop. Vegeta, when observing her, his look would remain serious. My daughter. No, I'm the definitive android. No, damn it! I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. Goku, when realizing that Vegeta was realizing a great power that he was not able to control, Goku with his maximum power would have given him a great blow in his neck, being able to leave him out of combat. Goku, at the moment of approaching his friends, he would lower his guard, and at that moment, Beerus would give him a great blow, making him fly through all that space. Goku, before recovering from that blow, Goku would receive the Great Attack series by the 11 remaining gods. The attack of the gods did not stop.
Mr. Beerus, why are you attacking my father? He's back to normal.
I cannot allow a mortal to break the balance of the universe. Gohan was going to stand in Beerus' way, but to his surprise, Jiren would knock him out in one blow. That's right, the god of Universe 11, Vermouth, had brought his most powerful warrior, just like Champa, the god of Universe 6, had brought the legendary assassin Hit. Everyone surrounded Goku. I'm sorry, Goku, but you are currently an abomination. The only thing we can do for the sake of the 12 universes is to finish you two off.
Damn you. The computer was right about one thing. The gods are evil, because if a being with so much power then appears to them, you'll try to annihilate them. They won't let us mortals evolve.
That's illogical, because if immortals appear with a power much greater than that of the gods, it'll be total chaos.
I see. So they're just using us. Even you, Jiren and Hit. You must realize that when they are a great threat, They'll kill you, and they'll not care about attacking the 12 gods against a single warrior. They're not interested in the pride of a warrior.
Your time has come, Saiyan. Ha! Vermouth was not able to finish his technique because Jiren hit him with a strong blow that made Vermouth fly hundreds of meters.
You miserable mortal of Universe 7! What the hell's wrong with you?
That's right, you're more powerful than your god, but more powerful than me.
Ha! I doubt it. I'm the great Beerus, the most powerful god among the 12 destroyer gods.
Goku, take Vegeta away from here. I'm sorry for attacking you, but I've realized the cruel truth of the gods. They really only use us.
I swear that your sacrifice will be worth it. We'll avenge you!
Goku, as he was about to leave, the god Champa would throw a huge energy sphere at him, but Hit with his time jump was able to deflect the attack.
Get out of here, Son Goku! We'll take care of these bastards, even if it costs us our lives. Thanks for helping me in the Tournament of Power. Now we're even.
Hit would launch himself against his god of destruction, Champa, giving a great battle. However, at that moment, all the angels raised their power to the maximum, being able to create a powerful barrier, leaving Goku and Vegeta locked up.
We are sorry. I know that you saved the other universes, but now you are the ultimate threat.
Goku would hit that barrier with all his power, but he was not able to even scratch it. The barrier was getting smaller every moment and was also increasing its temperature to an impressive extent. Goku, without knowing it, would emit a slingshot for help. Meanwhile, in a very distant and advanced place was Android 21. This android has been the first masterpiece of Dr. Gero, and this android had also so much power that it even changed multiverse because it did not like the way of exactly of its master.
Apparently, a help signal comes from Multiverse 18. Exactly from Multiverse 7, the same universe in which I was also created.
The android would observe everything that was happening in that multiverse.
Those Saiyans are similar to me. They were able to break that link that united them to the computer. But now that I have enough power, I'll be able to help them.
Goku was about to be carbonized and turned into ashes together with Vegeta. A mysterious girl would appear on the battlefield, and with just one of her fingers, she began to crack that barrier. The angels, who had used a great part of their powers, were very surprised.
How were you able to destroy the barrier for all of us? And more importantly, who the hell are you?
That's none of your business.
Android 21, realizing that Jiren and Hit were about to die, would also help them.
A damn woman wouldn't be able to defeat us. We'll tear her to pieces right now.
The gods, at the moment of launching the attack, they almost froze. It's right, the android had used an ice technique.
Infernal Tempest!
The gods would have frozen if they did not retreat. They were all very surprised, but they did not have time to be more surprised since the android in a few seconds left the 12 gods out of combat, and this one dude would return to observe the angels with a murderous look, which did nothing due to the pressure that this one exerted on them.
If you want to die, come closer. I won't leave any trace of you.
None of the 12 angels moved because they knew that if they moved one single of their fingers, they'd be eliminated with a single attack. And Android 21 would take the 4 warriors fallen in battle and would go to her multiverse. At that moment, she would arrive and a powerful goddess would receive her in her castle.
Your Majesty, you're back earlier than expected. That's right, I thought that God would be a challenge, but he just wasted my time. Please, Cirrus, prepare Laboratory 2 of Planet 5. We'll have new inhabitants on this planet. As you ordered.
It had already been 5 days since that event, in which Jiren and Hit were still out of combat because they took their bodies to the limit. However, Goku and Vegeta were in some incubator machines, which were restoring some parts of their body that were totally destroyed. However, the android observed something very peculiar, and it was that they had a tail.
Cirrus, come here immediately, please. Tell me, my lady, what can I do for you? Find out everything you know about the tales of the Saiyan warrior race. Of course, I will do it right away.
After a few minutes, Cirrus would clear all the doubts of his mistress.
Then, with their tails, they are able to acquire a new transformation, and their appearance is of primitive form. That's right, my mistress. Computer, please perform a simulation and have them observe the full moon in its full splendor.
Of course, I will do it right now. Both Saiyans were involved in a simulation. That's right, still in their incubation capsules, they were able to free themselves, transforming into two gigantic monkeys. But thanks to a chip that the android inserted, they were able to become conscious quickly, accessing the Super Saiyan Phase 4 successfully. Subjects 1 and 2 have successfully achieved their new transformation.
What happened? Last thing I remember, I was fighting Lord Beerus.
Damn, my head hurts.
A voice at that moment echoed in the back of their head.
Welcome to my planet, or rather my multiverse, Saiyans Goku and Vegeta.
Both were very surprised to hear that they had changed not only planet but multiverse. Meanwhile, returning to Universe 7 was very thoughtful Beerus, who would organize an emergency meeting with the 11 remaining gods of destruction.
All the gods present here have been humiliated by a simple woman. She's no mere woman. Her power was abominable. Not even the High Priest Daishinkan emerges with such overwhelming power. I agree with Champa. Who the hell's that woman? And why did she save those mortals?
We don't have some things clear, but the best we can do is to inform the High Priest and the King of all, Zeno-sama, so they can help us in this new threat that's about to approach.
All the other gods would continue debating everything that happened in the battle. However, they all came to the same conclusion, to ask for help to their superiors. At the end of the meeting, the god Beerus together with Whis went to the palace of the Kingdom of Everything. At that moment of their arrival, they were received by the High Priest.
God Destroyer of Universe 7 and his guardian angel, to what do I owe your visit? By their faces, I can deduce they are not pleasant news.
You're absolutely right, Daishinkan-sama. What happens, Father, is that the Saiyans Goku and Vegeta were converted into androids, which we tried to exterminate, but before we could do it, a dimensional portal opened and a beautiful woman came out, which knocked out the 12 gods of destruction and with a simple look from her, left us immobile.
This is really bad. So if you talk about dimensional portals, this must be from another multiverse. But it makes no sense since no king is allowed to intervene in other multiverses other than his own.
We have to come to inform you of this since because of those Saiyans, we wish to be involved in some megaversal problem.
You did well to inform us. At this moment, I'll inform the King of Everything and we will make a decision. You may leave.
Beerus and Whis bowed and left the palace. Meanwhile, in a far place away from the palace, Goku and Vegeta looked at each other in amazement.
So this is the Phase 4 transformation of the Super Saiyan. His power, despite being deadly, is very powerful.
You're right, Kakarot. The power of this transformation is incredible. Can't wait to combine it with my divine phases. We'll be invincible and exterminate Beerus and those other gods.
It seems that both of you have begun to adapt to such monstrous power. Congratulations!
Goku and Vegeta would continue training. After approximately 2 months, Goku and the android began to talk about their past, learning that this also belongs to Universe 7. Meanwhile, in a very distant place, there were 3 beings, which were observed Son Goku and Vegeta since their birth.
Now that those 2 Saiyans are androids, their power has grown incredibly. It won't be long before they become our food or our warrior assassins.
That's right, we shouldn't rush. We've waited for this for so long, so we can wait for a few more years.
At last our kingdom will be the most powerful of all, and we will be able to ascend the multiverse.
Three very mysterious subjects were watching Son Goku and Vegeta leaving this event. We returned to the Saiyans. Both had managed to master their power to 100%, but from one moment to another, a failure in the main computer would make the Prince Vegeta return to his base state. Everyone was surprised, however, at the precise moment, a gigantic power was unleashed from the body of Vegeta. His power was so much that it even made other rooms explode and be wrapped in fire due to such bestial power. Vegeta again managed to reach the Super Saiyan Phase 4, but a notorious change was his look, which was of pure evil, as well as all the circuits had gone to a red color, very contrary to those of Son Goku, who were in a blue color. Goku and the Android 21 tried to come to reason with Vegeta. However, Vegeta, with an incredible speed, was able to send Goku flying with a strong blow, leaving the Android 21 equally surprised. Vegeta would not stop and would continue with his incredible attack, taking Goku out of the atmosphere of that planet.
Exterminate Kakarot! Exterminate Kakarot! Maximum alert!
Vegeta did not stop his attack while repeating those words. In an oversight of Vegeta, Goku was able to hit him with a big blow on his chin, sending him flying a few meters back.
I won't let you exterminate me, Vegeta! If you want to fight, okay, we'll do it!
Android 21 was watching the battle along with Cirrus. Meanwhile, in a universe of Android 21, a warrior would stand up.
What power is incredible! It even feels my whole body shudder. But whose ki is this? I've never felt them in this multiverse before.
Meanwhile, returning to Zeno-sama's multiverse, Daishinkan was talking to Zeno-sama.
And that had been all the information that the god Beerus of Universe 7 had given me. What shall we do, great Zeno-sama? Goku is my only friend, but if it is for the protection of all the multiverse, we must finish him. We have no alternative. Communicate with the angelic realm. Ask them to send the 3 Celestials. Did you just say the 3 Celestials? Are you sure, great Zeno-sama? Completely, Daishinkan. They're Goku together with the Saiyan Vegeta. They have an incredible power, and if the information of the Beerus is correct, a normal being is capable of surpassing the level of an angel. Those 2 Saiyan must have broken the angelic barrier, reaching your power or even mine. As you command, sir. At this moment, I will head to the angelic realm.
Daishinkan would go to the angelic realm, which was outside of all the multiverses. Even for an angel, it would take approximately 5 days, because in that place could only enter guardians of the King of Everything, or beings of abominable power. Meanwhile, in Universe 7 on Earth, Gohan was very angry.
I can't believe how Mr. Beerus was able to betray us in this way. Don't worry, brother. The important thing is that our father's not dead. You're right, Goten. What we must do right now is to become much more powerful, so that when we face our father, he'll be proud of us. You're right, brother. But can I tell Trunks to train with us? Sure, Goten. Trunks, being the son of Mr. Vegeta, can train with us.
Goten would quickly go to Trunks' house to ask him to train together. Meanwhile, in the multiverse of Android 21, the battle between both Saiyans would continue very close. However, this was surprising since Vegeta was the one who controlled the whole battle. That's right, Vegeta was giving Son Goku a beating. While Goku was receiving thousands of blows, he would say to himself,
"Damn, Vegeta's negative power is incredible. With that power, he's defeating me completely. I must not think of the consequences. I'll use that technique."
Goku would do everything possible to get rid of Vegeta's attacks. However, there were too many. But in an opening that he found in his defense, he could send him flying with a great energy attack. However, before this collision with Vegeta, this would retreat a few steps, and with an even greater power would begin to defeat with the power of Goku. Vegeta was the winner of the energy collision, but Goku would dodge the attack by a few centimeters. Goku, without wasting time, would stand up.
"Vegeta, you forced me to do this!"
Vegeta began to fly towards Goku at a high speed.
Kaioken!
Goku's power shot up wildly. That's right, Goku, just by activating the Kaioken, was able to overcome all of Vegeta's strength.
What the hell is that technique? His power didn't increase that much, but his attributes of speed and physical strength skyrocketed.
Goku, with a serious look, observed Vegeta.
"I'm sorry, Vegeta, but you can never beat me. Even though you were close this time, it's not the time yet."
Goku would launch Vegeta to fly hundreds of meters backwards with a simple blow. Goku began to follow Vegeta, who had fallen on some rocks. Goku was about to connect another blow. Vegeta had created an energy scythe with which he would use to try to slice Goku. But Vegeta would surprised to be witnessed on how Goku was able to stop his scythe with the palm of his hands.
I understand that he would dodge it, but he has the speed to do it. But to stop it, what kind of monster are you?
"I'm just a low-class Saiyan who was raised on Earth, and I want my rival and best friend to come back to normal."
Goku at that point began to sweep the floor with Vegeta until he left him on the verge of death. With one big punch, he managed to knock him out. Goku would grab Vegeta, and this would quickly take to Android 21's laboratory so that they could examine him and make him return to normal.
The power that this being has, it's incredible. Even with my power, it would have been hard to defeat this other guy.
Sirius would be a little surprised to see Goku fall to the ground with no power and also on the verge of death.
So this is how far mortals are willing to go. So long as they don't lose their loved ones, that saying, despite having robotic parts, has a big heart.
The Android 21 would take both Saiyans and would take them to her laboratory. Realizing that the chip of Dr. Jiro had not been completely extracted, due to this, she had a sudden change in Vegeta's attitude. Meanwhile, far from that multiverse, the 5 days had already passed in which Daishinkan would have arrived to the angelic realm, where quickly a being would stand in front of him.
Priest of the multiverse of the little Zen, what can I do for you? You better than anyone should know that beings who do not attain all powers are not worthy to set foot in this sacred place. I'm very sorry, Kimaro-sama. What happens is that the king of all, Zeno-sama, had requested the presence of the three Celestials, since our multiverse is going through a maximum alert. The three Celestials? What maximum alert can go through your multiverse if they're the only second-rate beings?
Daishinkan started to explain everything that had happened, however, the Guardian Kumaro didn't seem to be surprised by it.
If they really want the help of the three Celestials, they must prove that they have the power to request it, and even Zeno-sama must prove that he's worthy of calling himself king of the whole. But Kumaro-sama, this is a high alert. Even if we don't stop them right now, they can become much more powerful and devastate this entire shrine.
Ha 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 ha! Oh, don't make me laugh, priest. Do you think the angelic realm would fall to 2 mere mortals? Report what I have told you to your king, and when you have 5 warriors gathered at the center of the universe, we will have a small tournament, and if you win 3 of the 5 battles, you can request the help of the 3 Celestials. Daishinkan again was going to beg, however, at that moment the incredible pressure of Kumaro would make him fall to the ground, making him tremble just with his pressure. Resigning, Daishinkan was about to leave the angelic realm. However, a voice would resound in the distance.
Don't worry, priest. I will come to help you.
Don't you dare! If you do it, you'll be ignoring my authority.
I don't care about that. Remember that we too were once beings of great power. If with my power I'm able to exterminate those wretches, I will do it.
The 7th Celestial, together with Daishinkan, would leave to the Kingdom of Everything, which, with the help of the Celestial, they arrived in a matter of minutes.
Now tell me, priest, who are these guys? I will exterminate them quickly and return to my planet. That's the problem. I don't know where those Saiyans are. What I know for sure is that they'll attack this multiverse since all the gods attacked them because they're a threat. I understand. Do not worry. With this technique, we will locate them. Angelic crack, divine destiny.
A ball of bright light would be created, showing them the exact place where both Saiyans were.
Apparently, they were in another multiverse far away from this one. But that won't be a problem. Let's go, priest, so you can observe for yourself how the plague ended.
The 7th Celestial would leave together with Daishinkan in search of both Saiyans to exterminate them. But what the Celestial did not know was that this would be his last battle when facing some beings that could not understand their powers.
We have arrived, but I cannot feel the key of both subjects. The most advisable thing is to start destroying planets. If they call themselves heroes, they will appear.
The 7th Celestial would create a giant sphere of energy the size of the Milky Way, launching it against that universe, disintegrating all the planets that crossed its path. In a very distant place, the android Sirius, together with Son Goku, would feel how millions of lives disappeared. Vegeta would continue in the laboratory. They had already extracted all the chip. He was only resting from that brutal battle. Damn, millions of lives have perished. And apparently one of them causes is Daishinkan. I can feel his power, but the one with him, I don't recognize him, but his power is gigantic.
Apparently the king of everything in your multiverse asked for the help of the Celestials. But if they have only sent one, it must be because your multiverse is not among the most powerful multiverses.
I don't care who he is. I'll end his life right now. I won't let him exterminate any more innocent lives.
Returning to the 7th Celestial and Daishinken, both were very intrigued since they continued observing how planets were destroyed with their simple pressure and no one appeared to confront them.
Damn Saiyans! You are nothing but a piece of crap! Now I will exterminate this entire multiverse!
The 7th Celestial began to charge the same attack. However, the destructive and angelic energy channeled in this attack was far superior to the previous one. At the moment he launched his attack, Goku would appear in front of him, and with a dimensional technique, he would create a portal sending the attack to that dimension.
So you're the damned ones who have destroyed all those hundreds of planets, along with all their inhabitants. I'll not forgive you!
So, you're the being that's turned everything upside down in the multiverse of Zeno-sama. At this moment, I will end your existence. I, one of the Celestials, will exterminate you.
The Celestial at that precise moment would launch himself into the attack, giving him a shrapnel of blows for 5 minutes, in which he would leave Son Goku very badly wounded.
That's all. I told you, Priest, you must not worry.
But at that moment, Son Goku's voice would leave them both paralyzed.
That's all? Now I'll teach you how to attack!
The 7th Celestial would be a little surprised along with Daishinken when he observed how that warrior would stand up.
Are you making fun of me?
Of course not! Just that your attacks are very weak and light. Watch this way, you must attack!
Goku in a few milliseconds would stand in front of this great warrior, and with a great attack that the 7th Celestial was not able to observe, he would send him to the ground. Goku would return to observe Daishinken.
Today will not be the day of your death, since I swear that I'll exterminate all the divine beings. Dimensional Aguadajero!
Goku would have created a portal with which he would send Daishinken back to that palace of the Kingdom of Everything. The 7th Celestial was recovering from the blow and would find it very difficult to stand up.
I can't believe that a mere mortal has caused me so much damage and pain. But this suffering I will return to you multiplied 100 times.
You don't have enough power to face me. You better leave before I change my mind.
Goku would turn his back to the Celestial. However, the Celestial would appear in front of Goku and punch him in the face.
Don't underestimate me!
I warned you, damn you! Today, you'll be the day of your death!
Goku would raise his aura, which looked like fire. So much so that it even made the 7th Celestial pulverize from just standing next to him.
Damn worm! You're not even good enough to warm me up!
Goku would return to the planet where Vegeta was. Noticing in an incredible event, the powerful Vegeta android Phase 4 was being humiliated by a Saiyan, which Goku would recognize instantly.
What? How can this be possible? You're Broly, the legendary Saiyan of our universe.
The android 21 was not on the planet. She had gone to an emergency meeting with Beerus. At that moment, Goku would rush to attack. However, Broly would send Vegeta flying hundreds of meters. Without wasting time, at that moment, a gigantic explosion could be seen in the distance. That's right, it was Vegeta, who was furious because of the beating that the Saiyan had given him.
I swear, I'll smash you to pieces with my bare hands. I'll annihilate you!
Vegeta, with his blood on his head, would throw himself against Broly, but none of his attacks were accurate. That's right, Broly's power was so much that they had no match for this. Broly at any moment would take Vegeta by the head and crash him into a mountain. However, before Vegeta was unconscious, Broly, with his abominable power, would break him in half.
Damn, Vegeta! This can't be happening!
Vegeta's body would fall to the ground. Goku, not being able to control all his anger, his power was increasing in an impressive way. So much that it was even felt in the universe in which the Android 21 was with the other leaders. This power, it's incredible, and we're millions of kilometers away. But its pressure is as if it were right in front of us.
That power is Son Goku's. I can't believe it. His power is incredible. Something must be happening. I'm so sorry, leaders, but I must retreat to my universe because this is a matter of life or death.
Don't worry, but I'll go with you. I want to meet the owner of that power. Meanwhile, in the palace of Zeno-sama, Daishinkan would continue trembling with fear till one of the guardians would come out and observe him. What's the matter, Daishinkan? You're pale. We're going to die. There will be no match for those guys. The power of Son Goku alone could crush us easily. Calm down, priest, and tell us what happened. Daishinkan would try to calm down, however, he would not be able to do it. Until at that moment, at the top of the Kingdom of Everything, Kimaro, the guardian of the Angelic Kingdom, would appear. But it's Kimaro-sama. What happened, great Kimaro-sama? To what do we owe the honor of your visit? Kimaro, with a serious and cold look, would observe the great priest in such a condition. So the being you warned us about has so much power to even take the life of a celestial? Everyone was in shock since at that moment Zeno-sama, together with his other guardian, would have heard what Kimaro mentioned. I can't believe what you just said, Kimaro. How is this possible? Like Zeno-sama said, can't understand it. For that very reason I have personally come to ask the priest what monster they faced. Daishinkan, having the presence of Kimaro and Zeno-sama, would calm down a little more, starting to tell everything that happened. We're no match for that guy. We're not worthy to face his power. You know where that place is? I personally, together with a group of Celestials, will personally go exterminate it. I don't know where they are exactly, but I was able to take this rock from their multiverse. Kimaro would take the rock and stare at it, and it would quickly say to itself, I can't believe this is the rock of one of the most powerful multiverses that exist. The robotic multiverse. Priest, are you sure you found this rock in that place? That's right, Kimaro-sama. Is something wrong? You are not defeated by incompetence? You faced one of the most powerful multiverses in existence. Daishinkan would be surprised by what Kimaro said would be Zeno-sama. But despite being one of the most powerful, if I carry the mission with 3 of the Supreme Celestials, I doubt very much they can do anything. Thank you for the information. Kimaro would quickly leave for the Celestial Realm. I'll need Eris, Nichita, and Psyche for this mission. Kimaro would go in search of the 3 subjects, who would accept, knowing that they would have one of their brothers already fallen in battle. The 4 would quickly leave to the multiverse of Android 21. Meanwhile, in that place, Goku and Broly would continue with a very close battle, but when Broly was about to give the final blow to Son Goku, Rick, together with Android 21, would appear in that place. Rick would stop Goku, however, the power was so much that it would even send Rick to fly a few meters away.
I can't believe that Goku and Vegeta were left in this condition.
Rick would recover the blow and would attack at a great speed. That's right, Rick was much more powerful than the Saiyans, and it was going to have a much even battle with that guy. However, everything would get worse when 4 guys would come out of the portal, which Rick and the Android 21 would recognize. But if you're the Supreme Celestials, how is it possible that you're in this place? So many questions, Rick. Long time no see. But this is not the time for that. I'm looking for the 2 Saiyans. Kimaro, observing Vegeta, would start to laugh. Apparently I have only one to take care of them, and it's a terrible condition. Kimaro, leave him in my hands. I'll be the one to give him the final blow. Don't kill him, we'll take him with us. Since he was able to kill one of our clan, now we'll get the information from him and torture him. Rick and Android 21 would stand in front of Goku. Android 21 would communicate telepathically with Son Goku.
Goku, go from this place to any place in infinity. If these guys catch you, you'll die without being able to do anything. We'll stop them.
Goku, badly wounded and on the ground, would try to do the teleportation, but he would fall unconscious from a blow that nobody was able to observe. Rick and the Android 21 raised their power to the maximum, but they were not able to do anything. Even Broly, the legendary Saiyan, was knocked out with a simple blow from Seki. This turned out to be easier than expected. The 4 of them would exit through the portal they had arrived in.
I won't leave Son Goku alone. I'll help him, but first I must cure Vegeta.
The android would begin to cure Vegeta, joining all his circuits with the help of Cirrus and Rick. Meanwhile, in the place of Zeno-sama, the 4 already mentioned they'd arrived together with Goku out of combat. In a matter of minutes, they'll be able to defeat those guys. Their power's really unreachable. It was a difficult task to perform. Ready, priest? I retire. To begin with Torture 0. Kimaro and the Celestials were retreating to their realm. Meanwhile, returning to Android 21's multiverse, everyone was plunging into chaos. However, after a few days, the whole multiverse returned to normal, and Vegeta was able to return to normal with the help of Cirrus, Android 21, and Reek. However, he was asleep. That's right, after this event, it had already happened 3 times. Meanwhile, in the angelic realm, we can observe a chained Goku. So, you like to be the exterminator of realms? You won't be able to defeat us, the Supreme Celestials.
You better let me go, or when I'm free, I'll collect every one of your blows, you bastards!
You're just a dull sword. You don't have enough power to back up your words. Just a simple worm. And so the torture of Son Goku would continue. What the Celestials wanted was for their bodies to have unlimited energy like an android, and the perfect body to experiment with was the body of the Saiyans like Son Goku. Meanwhile, returning to the multiverse of Android 21, a powerful explosion would shake the entire planet where the Prince of the Saiyans was. That's right, after 4 months out of combat, the Prince would wake up. Cirrus would arrive quickly.
Oh, it seems that Mr. Vegeta has wakened. Tell me, how is he?
Thank you very much, but for your welcome, Cirrus. I feel much better, but tell me, where's that damn Kakarot?
Cirrus's expression changed to a very serious one.
Lord Vegeta, that day 4 months ago, Lord Goku was taken to the Celestials.
What? But who are the Celestials?
They are the highest ranking beings in existence.
Why did they take him away? What did Kakarot insect do this time?
Apparently, from what I understand, the High Priest of your multiverse sought help from the 3 Celestials. However, he was denied, but the 7th Celestial offered to help him.
I get it. That damn Daishinkan and that 7th one you're talking about probably didn't have enough power to defeat Kakarot. Or am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Mr. Vegeta. Son Goku's power was much of that. He even defeated the 7th Celestial. But when he fought the legendary Saiyan, he was completely defeated.
At that precise moment, a signal would reach Vegeta's chip. That's right, it was Son Goku's signal.
Vegeta, please help me. I don't think I can hold out that long. I can tell that your signal came back, and these are my coordinates.
Don't worry, Kakarot. Hold on. The Prince of the Saiyans will save you.
Cirrus was about to continue telling everything that happened, but at that moment, Vegeta stopped her.
Doesn't matter what happened in my absence, but now we must save Kakarot's insect.
Behind him, a voice resounded.
You're right. We've been preparing for all these months, and only you are missing. Do you feel ready to save Son Goku?
Of course I do.
They would all go to a planet in the angelic realm where they began to annihilate the Guardians, without raising suspicions except for women and children. However, one of them had a great power and would observe them at that moment. This Guardian would launch a sphere of energy into the air.
That was not an attack.
That's right. It seems they already know they have intruders. The fun is just beginning.
A great energy had been launched into the air. That's right, it was the defense mechanism. When invaders enter such a place, the leader of all the Celestials would stand up.
Who is brave or stupid enough to invade my territory?
Sir, apparently there are 3 guys and they have passed several defense barriers. Their speed's incredible. You can only observe how warriors fall.
Send the Invincible Trio.
Invincible Trio to the attack!
As ordered by Kimaro.
The 3 same guys who took Son Goku were also called the Invincible Trio because their coordinating fighting together was incredible, and they had never been defeated, and they were able to observe the warriors.
Angelic Velocity! Dispersion!
The 3 at a speed that even no one was able to observe, only the 3 invaders were able to notice. The Invincible Trio would stand in front of the invaders when the smoke dissipated. The Celestials recognized them, recognizing that Vegeta was the 2nd warrior they should bring alive, as well as Son Goku.
Apparently we're in luck. You're the bastards we should have annihilated last time. On that occasion, you didn't fight against me, the Prince of the Saiyans!
Vegeta confidently pounced against Vegeta, but great was the surprise of all to observe how Vegeta would not have given him time for anything. That's right, Vegeta would teleport and at a brutal speed that even exceeded his angelic speed, gave him a blow sending him to the ground. At that moment, Psyche and Eros rushed to attack. However, they were intercepted by Reich and the Android 21. All began with incredible battles and could not see a clear winner. Meanwhile, in the castle was the most powerful Celestial, which was the leader of all.
Kamaro, I want you to bring the prisoner for whom these guys are capable of messing with our kingdom.
As you order, sir. At this moment, I inform one of our guards to immediately bring him. Soldier, bring the prisoner Zero and do not let him make any movement. You have the option to use the lethal force if he does not cooperate.
As you command, Kima.
The soldier was not able to finish his sentence because at that moment, the whole prison where he was had been blown to pieces. That's right, Goku and Vegeta being androids possessing unlimited energy, they could use it. However, Goku needed the defenses not to focus so much power in the energy chains that limit him. And this was the perfect attack because the energy of the whole universe was focusing on the three attackers. A roar similar to that of a beast had been released all over the place. That's right, the powerful Goku had been set free.
That's Kakarot. It shows that no one's capable of mocking the Saiyan warrior blood.
Goku would continue to roar and raise his power in a surprising way.
Kamaro, what happened?
Sir, as far as I could tell, the prisoner Zero's cell had exploded, and with that explosion, the whole castle has fallen.
What are you telling me? That was one of the best planets to cultivate power. I'll kill that bastard myself.
The leader of the Celestials would fly at a great speed throughout the universe, landing in front of Son Goku. Meanwhile, with the battle of the Invincible Trio, these three would not have a good time because the power of their opponents was overwhelming.
How is it possible that they have the same power as us? But it won't stay like this. Let's use our special ability, even if it's at the end of our life.
As commanded by Saiki-sama.
Special ability, Sea of Cultivation Alteration, Supreme Abomination. At that moment, the celestial appearance that the three of them possessed would have been completely lost. That's right, since they had a mutation, that mutation was caused by their genetics. The genetics was celestial rank level, there was not so many changes, but when combined with a cursed technique, their appearance was that of beasts.
I don't like this appearance. I lose all my celestial light.
Nichindo would deliver a great blow to Vegeta, which would send him to the ground, creating an incredible crater.
But I like the power I possess in this form.
Eros and Psyche were also beginning to attack their prey. That's right, Reiki and the android, which before were the dominant ones. Now they're falling completely before the power of both subjects.
Damn it!
If we don't do something, this guy will thirst for revenge with the killing of us.
You damned! Being a woman, you humiliated me in the worst possible way.
I'll destroy all that beautiful face so that nobody wants to possess you as a woman. Flashback, Reiki together with Android 21 would have given the biggest humiliation of their lives to the three beings that had never seen defeat. That's right, they were very badly psychologically.
I never thought that the Invincible Trio would be so weak. They only made me laugh in this battle.
What? What did you say?
I swear you'll regret it.
And flashback.
Damn it. We shouldn't have humiliated them this way. They're willing to die and take us with them.
Only if we let them.
Android 21 would communicate telepathically with Cirrus.
Cirrus, activate the android mechanism.
As you command, my lady. At that moment, several energy pillars started to light up, and to send the power to the Android 21, even though she was far away from her universe, this didn't prevent her from receiving all that bestial power that was entering her.
Even if I have to die with you anyway, I won't let that damn monster like you beat me up.
This'll be the end of you. Die!
Psyche would concentrate all his energy in that last blow, but the Android 21 would stop him with only one hand, and it would break his whole forearm.
At the level I'm at now, you're not worthy of touching me.
The Android 21 at a supreme speed would give him 534 blows, which nobody was able to observe. All the inhabitants of the angelic being were scared because they didn't know what would happen if the strongest beings of their kingdom would lose. Psyche would fall to the ground and he wasn't able to get back up because of the beating that the android would have given him in a matter of minutes. When he observed the sky, he was able to realize that an immense attack was heading towards him.
I swear I'll return. I'll not let you mere mortals get away with this. I'll annihilate you the day you least expect it.
Psyche would be reduced to atoms. Android 21 would fall to the ground, very worn out by the excess of power it had used. Meanwhile, with Reich, this one being more powerful than Android 21, he could handle the battle better. However, he was not having a good time either. If I don't want to die in this battle, I'll have to give it my all.
Apparently that bastard was able to kill Psyche. But when I defeat you, I'll be able to kill her because she's very weakened.
That'll only happen if I let you. Divine law, divine punishment!
At that moment, Reich delivered a great blow to Eris that made him retreat a little.
That wasn't bad at all, but you lack power if you want to finish me off.
I know that, but how about this?
Reich hit Eris, who, again, was able to protect himself. However, this time the arm that he was covering himself with was completely broken.
Damn, the power of that blow was 2 times more powerful than the previous one.
Reich began to move quickly across the battlefield, and from a blind spot, he would launch his 3rd blow. However, seconds before colliding with Eris, he would form a barrier with his ki. And he would be surprised to realize that the fist of that guy had pierced it and given him a direct hit.
It's impossible!
Anything's possible, but you thought you'd always be on top. So this is your punishment.
Reich would connect with the last blow, reducing him to cosmic dust. Reich, in the same way as Android 21, would fall to the ground, but the 2 most impressive battles were not over, as Vegeta would continue fighting against Nichinda, while Son Goku with the leader of the Celestials. The first clash of fists made hundreds of thousands of planets disintegrate. The pressure of both was unreal, being so much that even Nichinda and Vegeta were affected by all that incredible power.
That incredible power of Kakarot's! I can't believe the power he now possesses.
Our commander is fighting against the other Saiyan. I must quickly end this guy's life and go help him. Nichinda and Vegeta resumed their battle, which was reaching its climax.
Hold this! Sphere of Destruction! You won't be able to defeat me with that! Divine Final Radiance!
Both attacks began to collide in an incredible way. However, as Vegeta possessed unlimited energy, he would win in that clash of powers. At that moment, a great explosion would be created, and seeing Vegeta on the battlefield, at that moment, Vegeta would fall, de-transformed and badly wounded. Meanwhile, with the battle of Son Goku and the leader, both would continue exchanging blows. But what the leader didn't know was that Son Goku was only using 75% of all his power.
You won't be able to beat me. I'm not using all my power.
Same here. I'm just playing with you.
The leader of the Archangels was angry and used the technique Sea of Cultivation Alteration Supreme Abomination, having a mutation not as relevant as the Invincible Trio, but his power had skyrocketed.
So that's your maximum power? Now I'll show you mine!
Goku began to increase his power and in the same way activated the Kaioken. All over that place began to fall lightning. That's right, the power of Son Goku had been so much that even the planet that was said to be indestructible would be blown to pieces.
How do you have so much power?
By keeping me captive and sealing my veins with ki, my power only accumulated for all this time. And now that I've been released, that power has exploded in an incredible way.
Goku began to massacre the leader of the Celestials. After 14 minutes of battle, the leader would ask for clemency. That's right, the power of Son Goku had abysmally surpassed him.
Excuse me, Your Majesty. I swear you'll never see us again, and I'm sorry for holding you captive.
That would have worked before I became an android. Now die!
Goku would stretch out his hand in the face of the subject, turning him into ashes. At that moment, Goku would realize that with the death of the leader of the Celestials, the Celestial Kingdom was about to explode. However, Goku with a supreme speed would take all his friends, Cirrus would take them all and help them recover. After a while, the first to wake up would be Reich, who would realize that they were in Android 21's universe. So, this time we won. But in his mind, he could observe Kimaro.
You won this time, because the end is near, and it'll be the last time led by me.
What the hell was that? Reich would not give it so much importance because no evil celestial had been left in that realm. After 2 weeks, everyone had already awakened, and Son Goku, along with Vegeta, were heading to the multiverse of Zeno-sama to finish off all the gods who wanted to end this.
I hope you're ready, because now it's your turn to run and hide.
I'll exterminate Beerus with my bare hands.
A portal would open in the kingdom of the whole, making it tremble in an overwhelming way. Goku and Vegeta were ready to finish with the life of all the divine beings of the multiverse of Zeno-sama. Nevertheless, at the moment of arriving to the multiverse of Zeno-sama, it seemed to be all empty. At the same instant, Goku and Vegeta had liberated a great part of their energies, beginning to destroy everything around them, being so much that even the other universes were being affected. But the moment no divine being would arrive to the place, so that in that instant, both at an impressive speed would arrive to the kingdom of everything. In which at that moment of arriving, they were surprised when observing all the divine beings, but in this occasion, even Kimura was with them.
Goku and Vegeta of Universe 7 will finish with your life at this moment, and nothing and nobody will be able to help since we will divinely seal all this multiverse.
At that moment, with the help of Kimura, a great divine seal had sealed the entire multiverse of Zeno-sama so that no one was able to leave or enter.
I swore to you that I'll finish with each one of you, and I intend to fulfill it. Today will be the day of your death.
At that moment, Daishinkan would raise his power to the maximum, preparing for the great battle. In the same way, all the divine beings had merged to face them. That's right, everyone knew that both Saiyans were not ordinary warriors.
It seems that they tried so hard, but that'll not be enough, since we have the power beyond the power of a king at all.
That's right. No matter what you do, today will be the day of your death.
At that moment, a great roar would be felt all over that place. That's right, the king of everything, Zeno-sama, was accessing his combat form, with which he would surprise everyone present, even Goku and Vegeta, who didn't believe the power of Zeno-sama.
I hope you're prepared, since you'll be the ones to die in this place.
At that moment, the battles would begin, and after only a few seconds, all the planets of the 12 universes were being destroyed because the power released was incredible. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta realized the powers that the deities had, and without trusting, they would have a great part of their energy, so the battle had become a little more balanced.
Heavenly Dragon! Repel-Go Connection!
At that moment, a great dragon of dark color would head towards all those present, but before colliding with them, thousands of rays would cause the great damage, so that at that moment, all the divine beings had been a little stunned. At the moment, Goku and Vegeta at a great speed had been prepared to end the life of Daishinkan-sama. However, at that moment, an incredible pressure would fall on them. That's right, it was the pressure of Kimura, with which he would help the multiverse and other worldly beings, was able to even push back beings as powerful as Goku and Vegeta. At that moment, Zeno-sama began to exchange blows at an incredible speed with Goku, while Vegeta was facing Daishinkan and Archon at the same time, which, with the power of all the gods and angels together, as power had risen in an incredible way, being so much that even for Vegeta was a little complicated to keep up. At the moment, Daishinkan was able to connect a great blow in the face of Vegeta, which made him fall to the ground very badly hurt.
Damn trash! I swear I'll exterminate you! I'll not allow you to make fun of me! Mr. Vegeta, you're really more powerful than us, but the whole multiverse of Zeno-sama is contaminated by Kimura's energy. Damn it! That's why my power has been diminishing.
But at that instant, a great attack would be able to send Zeno-sama flying, which at the moment of standing up, large quantities came out of his mouth. That's right, the blow that Goku had given him had an incredible power.
It doesn't matter that the whole multiverse of this damn thing has Kimura's garbage energy. They'll be exterminated by us.
Vegeta at that moment would stand up, while at the instant he would increase his power in an amazing way. So much so that he would even begin to crack every barrier Zeno-sama's kingdom. Meanwhile, in the multiverse of Android 21, Reich was a little pensive because of the vision he had had.
Will everything be alright? The vision I had with Kimura doesn't leave me very calm. I feel that something very bad's about to happen.
Is something wrong, Reich-sama? I thought you were training with my lady.
No, Android 21 wants to train on her own, and I don't have a head to train anyway. Something's about to happen.
Is it because Goku and Vegeta left for their multiverse? If you wish, I can observe how they are if you makes you feel more at ease.
I appreciate it, Cirrus. At that moment, Cirrus, with her great power as a priestess, began to follow the essence of both Saiyans until she reached Zeno-sama's multiverse. But when she wanted to enter, it was impossible. That's right, the Great Barrier would not allow her to connect to that multiverse. What happened, Cirrus?
Reich-sama, I'm not able to access the multiverse of Zeno-sama. A very strong power has surrounded his multiverse, and I'm afraid that no being is able to enter or leave.
Meanwhile, returning to both Saiyans, despite being on the ropes, it would not be enough to have defeated them, since at that moment, even Prince Vegeta had been able to kill Archon, having this time much more even battle. At the moment, Vegeta would create a great energy attack, which Daishinkan, with great difficulty, was able to dodge it. But Vegeta, at a much higher speed, would get on his back and with a great kick would send him to crash into a planet, which would be destroyed at the same moment.
As I told you, priest, no matter what they do, we Saiyans know no limits whatsoever.
While Goku and Zeno-sama were equally maintaining a very even battle, but in every exchange of blows, Zeno-sama's fists were shaking. That's right, the power that Goku possessed was overwhelming, even for a king of the whole.
Damn, how do you have so much power? You're a mere mortal.
I'm a mere mortal now. You used to tell me I was your best friend.
Zeno-sama, furious again, had launched himself against Goku. However, the result would be the same. At that moment, the King of Everything would create a great divine technique with which he had played to end the life of Goku.
1000 Annihilator!
Millions of attacks had been directed towards Goku, who with a big smile would create a dark energy around his whole body.
I'll give it back to you. Reflective barrier!
At that moment, an incredible energy barrier had been able to return each of the attacks Zeno-sama, who would be able to dodge them with too much difficulty, while Goku was very calm.
Is that all you got? I thought you were called the King of Everything because of your power, but you should be called the King of Everything.
Meanwhile, Reich had been able to reach Android 21, who at that moment would stop her training.
What are you telling me? You can't be happening. Goku and Vegeta have the power to take on all the kings of everything together.
I know, but that's how it's possible that Zeno-sama's multiverse sealed.
This only means that an angelic has been left alive.
At that moment, both kings had left at the maximum speed towards the barriers of Zeno-sama's universe with the intention of being able to destroy them. But while this was happening, Kimura was furious when he realized that no being was capable of ending the life of any Saiyan.
Those are really damned ones must call themselves elite warriors, but they won't be able to defeat me. I'm the best warrior of all the multiverses.
Goku at that moment, a little tired, would take the battle a little more seriously. And at the moment of a great attack, he would disintegrate Zeno-sama, turning him into simple lava, since he had used a fire energy in his attack.
Wow, apparently I've become too powerful to disintegrate a king completely.
At that moment, Kimura would stand up.
All this time has not been wasted, as you now observe the warrior who will end your pathetic life.
At that moment, Kimura's whole body would start to accelerate all his metabolism, and likewise, an incredible power would be felt from inside him. At the moment of a big explosion, a new being could be observed, but the key was very similar to Kimura's.
What do you think of my new body?
I've been researching, and this is the most powerful body among the 6 universes.
What the hell? You emanate incredible power, but your appearance is that of a mere human.
Kimura at that moment, with a strong blow, would make Goku vomit blood, because the blow that he would give him would have an incredible power. At that moment, Vegeta, without wasting time, would throw a great attack towards Daishinkan, which, being very badly wounded, was not able to counter it. Perishing eminently, in that moment both warriors would be put in front of Kimura, which despite being at a numerical disadvantage, was able to hit both Saiyans with strong blows, which would be sent flying at an astonishing speed throughout the universe. At the moment, Goku and Vegeta would be recomposed so that in the same way they launched an attack, but the difference in power was incredible. Meanwhile, in the borders of the multiverse of Zeno-sama, Reich along with Android 21 had already arrived, but it was impossible to destroy the barriers, which seemed to not suffer any scratches from both kings.
Damn it, I'm not gonna let Goku and Vegeta die. They are already a part of Multiverse 2. That's right, we can't let this happen.
Meanwhile, with battle, both Saiyans had begun a big beating, being badly injured. At the moment, Goku would use a big energy sphere to stun Kimura.
Vegeta, the only way to defeat him is to fuse with him.
Damn, you know I hate to fuse with you, but it's true, there's no other alternative.
At that moment, Goku and Vegeta, with the help of the earrings, had fused, appearing Vegeta as SJ4, which at that moment gave off an amazing power, leaving everyone surprised by the power he gave off. He even was able to destroy the entire barrier of Kimura. At that moment, an amazing pressure would be felt all over the place, so much that even Reich and Android 21 were not able to move calmly.
What is this? The pressure is comparable to that of the Omega King at all. I'm not able to breathe normally.
At that moment, they were able to observe how a Saiyan-looking warrior was in front of Kimura, who this time was not able to move despite having the most gifted body of all the multiverses.
Kimura, your grudge against us led you to manipulate everyone in Zeno-sama's multiverse. But what's the point? We'll just as soon wipe out each and every one of you. Damn you! You're the failure of the gods! You should not have ever existed! Whether we're failures or not, we'll be the ones to end your pathetic life right now.
Vegeta on this occasion, without any difficulty, had given him a great blow, with which he had been able to seriously affect all his nervous system as well as his spiritual sea. At the moment, Kimura was lying on the ground very badly wounded.
It's time to finish you and every being in this multiverse.
At that moment, the powerful Vegeta had charged one of the most powerful attacks with the intention of finishing with every being. But at that moment of launching it, all his power had been focused on Kimura, disappearing him completely.
All the other beings of this multiverse is not to blame for anything, so I'll give them a chance.
At that moment, the fusion would end, returning Goku and Vegeta, and in the same way, Android 21 and Reich would approach both of them.
What was all that power? That's right, his power surpassed by hundreds of times the power of a normal king. It's fusion, and with that power, we're able to unite all our power and multiply it a few times. But it's all over now.
That's right. Now it's time to go back.
That's right, as everyone would return to each of their multiverses, while Goku and Vegeta had gone to investigate other multiverses to protect the weak. $70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son. You've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot. It was our first encounter with an enemy of another level. But we cannot forget the cell bug, the creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time he showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Boo became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus, that god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course, we're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving. Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis?
Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar.
Who could it be? The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected.
Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents? The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that?
Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so that the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What?
This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great.
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair?
By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for the survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
What is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you?
We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious Shadow Warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the Shadow Creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out.
Let's go, Kakarot.
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow Creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the Shadow Creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the Shadow Creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from this smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin.
Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting.
I didn't expect to have to face something like this. Yes, Vegeta, this creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all. Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides. Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this! For once, Kakarot, I agree. The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyans' attacks with ease.
Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense! Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast! The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination.
We can't underestimate this thing! Come on, Vegeta! Let's attack together!
Alright, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it! Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kame! Ah! Final Flash! The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyans' assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely.
Vegeta, we're in trouble! This thing's stronger than we thought!
Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing.
Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta!
The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground.
Vegeta, we need a plan.
The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge the blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds.
Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!
At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince as he stood up, his eyes regaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?
Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies.
Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain. with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light. It's time to seal your fate.
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated Earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing.
Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku!
Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming!
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature, we will fight!
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us!
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything.
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature in its enhanced form launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison!
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher and unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyans' attacks. Broly, under the Dark Possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist!
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature and Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyans' momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed the most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan's Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more, with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession!
We can't let Broly fall into darkness.
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta. Broly's free.
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it! Where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan.
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature!
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious.
The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The shadow creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn shadow. Don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure! I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan!
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power, the Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan? That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways.
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the Dark Entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan?
As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life.
So what's the plan, Piccolo?
Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching?
That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you.
I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state.
What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up. So the shadow creature set out to return to its master. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.